Oh my god. That is just so clean. All right, today we're going to be listening to Jazmine Sullivan's BET performance, which is very exciting. Let's get into it. Just from a performance point of view, it's actually really interesting to see like Jazmine's progress in terms of like a show person, you know, before, like when she was a kid, right? It's just, she just could stand there and sing and it was amazing, but she never stopped pushing herself and growing as an artist. And all of her more recent stuff, like it's a lot more glam, a lot more production. It's really cool to see her going for that.
Like I'm on a foreplay. I you like I'm at the card till by you when I'm paying the car.
I do have a slight complaint with the mix. Jazmine's voice is really low and that bass is pretty loud. So I'm not getting as much Jazmine as I would like, but that's a minor complaint. I always say this to students, like everyone, so a bad tendency of people is that they tend to, when they want to go low, they'll like shove their tongue back because it sounds louder to us because of the way bone conduction works. Like you can even feel it if you just do it, even if you're not a singer, right? Right? Like it sounds louder to us, but the pitch goes flat. You don't have a lot of ability to move around a lot for runs. And the lows kind of sound pushed and not luscious. And if you listen to Jazmine and look at her tongue, as weird of a statement as that is, but it's super forward, right? And there's no weird stuff going on, right? Her singing is incredibly natural, which is one of the reasons why it's incredibly satisfying. Like a good singer makes singing look easy because it is kind of easy. It just is, it's a lot of work to get there, right? Also, just a nice tip as well. Microphone placement is really important in these kind of performances, like really important, right? So look at how it's always facing her bottom lip and it's almost always an inch apart. No matter where she's moving, she's got that mic exactly where it needs to be. And it's not like a really vocal technique thing, it's a mic technique thing, but it's really important to point out if you ever want to do performances in a space, right? Okay. Okay, I know I said like natural mouth position and stuff like that, but if you know what you're doing, you can do some cool things, okay? So I did this, I pointed this out a lot in my Chloe and Hallie breakdown about how they blend. But, you know, even if you're not blending, you can use some of these tricks, right? So look at this run, and then we're going to examine like the position of her lips, right? All right, her on the low end, her lips are going to be pursed. See that? See just that brief moment on that note, right? If I can pause it so fast. Right? There, that's it. If you do that on your low, what you're effectively doing is you're expanding your vocal tract to make it larger. When you make your vocal tract larger, you can get more lower frequencies. It's like taking a violin versus a cello. So you can you'll hear it even if I do it. Right? Like I'm not moving my tongue, I'm not changing the vowel. It's just my lips going back and forth change how many like what frequencies are being highlighted. And so what ends up happening is you get something really cool like this. Right? And then right? Like she's just morphing these vowels to change the resonance. Yeah, and then on the top, big, wide, epic notes right there. That's so cool. Now, because she's like big brain 200 IQ artist, all right, so she just had this epic higher thing going on, right? One of the best things you can do as an artist is decide to do contrast, right? You're going to do one thing and then you're going to kind of do the opposite, right? So she had this big, wide, epic high note, right? But then she goes and does like, on the high. So she makes the high note gentle. She makes that high note very gentle, and then she rounds it out. By pursing her lips, she's making like it more of a round tone. And then goes back to the bright, higher stuff. It's really cool. Just she's like this master of tone and vocal coolness. That's a technical definition, I swear. I'm a nerd. What can I say? Oh man, that is just so clean, so clean. A lot of folks have been coming to me and asking like, how do I do runs? How do I improvisation runs, right? And the answer is actually pretty simple. It's just kind of difficult. Initially, I thought it would be like really prudent to do what classical musicians do, which is, solfege everything and read a lot of music and do a lot of analysis, and you kind of get more comfortable. And that's great for developing a sense of harmony, but I just felt like I wasn't doing a good job of that. And so I went actually to a jazz pianist friend of mine and a couple of jazz musicians just to check out if I was right. And what they were saying is this: just copy like all the runs, like literally slow it down. You see people do this on TikTok all the time. You see people doing this like when, I'm going to hate myself for this. The person who invented scatting literally dropped his trumpet or something like that. Like it fell out of his hand. And so he just started scatting, And so that's kind of what you need to be able to do when you improv and you do these vocal runs. Is actually, it's just a matter of what's called transcribing, which is a simple way of saying you're just copying this stuff, right? And that's so much easier for singers to do than it is for instrumentalists, because we don't have to figure out all the buttons. You know what I mean? We just like listen to it and copy it. So if you do that enough, you'll develop an intuition, which is actually way better than like trying to figure out and analyze it. So I know that's kind of like a simplistic approach, but it's still hard. It still takes a lot of work. It still takes kind of years to be able to do that stuff. And especially when you get into different kind of scales over different kinds of chords, which is a very like jazz music theory approach to things. So it's a lot of work. Thank you. Big shout out to the new video editor, and thank you to the people on Patreon and who take voice lessons, who make it possible. This frees up my time to teach people for free, which I do on my Discord. Link to that down below. And also, if you just want to talk about singers, we do that too. Playlists and all that are curated. We got a lot going on in the Discord. So if you just want to talk about singing, or you just need a couple tips here and there and you can't really afford lessons, totally understandable. Link to the Discord down below. And I'm going to start taking React requests again. That's going to be a live stream format. Stay tuned for that. First things first, I want to get back to posting 3 to 4 videos a week. So anyway, thank you. Like, subscribe. I guess you'll win a pony. Except you won't. There are no ponies.